KWTC 1230 AM, broadcasting from our new broadcast studios at 1230 High Point Road in Narrow Valley.
Okay, so for the building, what I did was I did use this stuff, the modeling paste, and I put it on fairly well with this brush, and it goes on fairly thick. You swipe it on there, and it comes on fairly thick. So you have to really kind of work it to thin it out, to smooth it out, and make it a nice even coat. And then what I did is I came along after that with a sponge brush, this sponge brush, and I started dabbing really hard, pushing down really hard and pulling up. Now one of the things too is, if I ever do this again, what I'll do is I'll get me several of these brushes and have several brushes ready to go. Because what I found is after 6 or 7 dabs, it started to fill up. And I was changing brush and changing angles and changing sides. And before I even, really finished a side, this thing was coated, and it really wasn't as effective after that. So I had to go and wash it out, dry it as much as I could, and then come back and continue work. So next time, several of these brushes, and dab and push and pull, and do that all over. And I think I got a pretty good stucco texture to it. It may be a little bit exaggerated, but that's okay. It came out pretty good as far as a stucco finish. Then what I did to paint it, I used it's the Tamiya XF60 dark yellow for the body of the building, and then I used the Tamiya XF64 for the little trim pieces here and the little edging and stuff. And I also used that for this same color for the trim on the windows and the doors. For the roof, and I also got the roof painted, the front part of the roof, the metal roof, that's painted, as well as the top of this roof. And for that I used XF50, which is the field blue. And now this field blue I also used for the 3 doors in the building. The doors are painted this field blue, and then they have the this red-brown trim. Okay, so that's the building itself. Now I also have several other things ready to go. I have power panel, a roof hatch, the windows and doors, and then I also have the fire escape and the ladder, and then this is a metal walkway that goes on top of the roof. So all of these pieces are all ready to go. I guess I'm just ready to assemble it, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, one of the things I need to add, I forgot to add in that last little segment, was when I painted the power panel, the power box, and the roof hatch, I used XF54 dark sea gray. And when I did the fire escape, roof walkway, and the ladder, I used XF24 dark gray. Now, the reason I'm adding this is because I use these videos as kind of a reminder of what I did, how I did it, and why. And so I go back to these and say, okay, what color did I paint this stuff? Did I like that? Did I not like it? Do I want to change it? Do I want to keep it the same? So this is kind of a reminder for myself, a running history and a running log of what I do and how I do it. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so the next important thing that I needed to do for this radio station project was obviously the radio antenna. And in the last video, I talked about the different designs, and in the end I really thought seriously about buying the radio antenna kit from ITLA. Well, unfortunately, different things happened and I couldn't go that direction. So what I ended up doing was scratch building my own antenna. And this is it. I'll pull out in a few seconds and show what materials I used. But right now I just want to give you a good view of it. I put it on a platform that will set on top of the radio station building itself. Now I'm not going to glue it down. I'm just going to set it up there. And what I did to make sure that it stayed in place fairly well was I added this. And what this is I've got I think this is a C channel or H channel rim around a 20 thousandths plastic sheet, and then a couple of pieces in here for a little bit more strength. And then what I did is I filled it in with this stuff that's called liquid gravity. I like this stuff. I used this on my flat car build many episodes ago, and I use this also for some of the weight to add to the box cars and all the other rolling stock that I have. I usually invert it and pour this in and then fill it in with I can use anything, any kind of glue, Mod Podge, super glue, whatever, but you fill it in, white glue, but just fill it in, and it adds a little bit of weight to it, so it's not going to fall over. It's stable, sits there. But so that's the radio antenna that I'll be putting on the roof. And what I'll do here in a second is pull out the materials and show you what materials I used for this thing. Okay, so as I said before, I think this was the base here is 20 thousand sheet. Just used some scrap stuff, and then to frame it, I used this H column material, 80 thousandths H column material, number 282. Then for the main supports, the main rods, there's three of them. I made it triangular shape. For those, I used 16th inch rod, number 222. Then this little square piece, this little rectangular piece here going around, I used 20 thou by 156, number 127. And then all the little support wires, all the little crossings and stuff, I used 20 thousandths rod, number 218. And basically just built it in sections, glued together two pieces here, and then put the rods together, and then added the third side, trying to keep it all fairly square or triangular and straight. And then added the cross pieces, the smaller cross pieces. I think this is a little bit less than 1/8 inch tubing, just scrap tubing that I used to guide the wire. Just plain old wire. This wire is, I think it's like 26 gauge or something like that, and I actually took the sleeve off. So this is bare wire that I painted black. Another little piece of tubing, but most of this flat stuff here and these pieces were just scrap pieces that I had. I then painted it flat white, and then some kind of red. I can't remember what red it was, but some kind of red. And that's the the antenna, I also then just wet on wet, just threw down some brown colored stuff down the base here, just to give it a little weathering, a little dirt looking along the base and everything. But that's the radio antenna. Now I made it triangular, primarily, well, for ease of building. Actually, it was easier for me to build a triangular one and keep it squared up and proper than it would be for me to do a square one. And again, less parts, less gluing and everything else. But when this is on the layout and it's viewed from this direction, I kind of liked it to, instead of just hitting a bump, just hitting a square here, that this would just be a bit more pleasing to the eye to see a spread out kind of thing. And when we get it on the layout, I'll show you what I mean, or maybe you get it now, but just a little bit more pleasing to the eye to see a triangular shaped. And turned out pretty nice. Not sure how tall it is here. Let me measure, see how tall this is. It's approximately 30 feet tall. That's a good radio antenna. So there you are. There's the radio antenna. Okay, well, after everything was painted, I started adding all the little pieces. I went to my printer and created the sign for the KUTC. Printed this on photographic paper, and then after I printed it, I gave it a coat of Mod Podge just to seal it over. And then after the Mod Podge dried, I gave it a very light sanding with a very, very fine sandpaper. It's almost like just burnishing it, just to take some of the sheen down and make it all sort of even. And I put the address sign on the front. Made the lights out of the normal jewelry parts that I stole from my wife. I added the parts on the back, the oversized meter, the power box, the meter, ladder, lamp for each of the doors, the fire escape. Now this piece right here, the top piece here, the top tread or whatever, that's part of the fire escape too. Kit comes with two. So what I did is I took one of them, made the fire escape, and then took the second one and cut it up and made the step piece up here, and the hatch is scratch built. And then added more signs. And then that's basically it. As you can see, I haven't glued the roof on yet. I'm not sure when I'll glue it on. Eventually it will get glued on. But that's the completion of the building. So I'll tell you what, let's put this back on the layout and then take one last look at it, and I'll say my goodbyes.
Every Sunday night at 12 p.m., KWTC goes off the air. This is required to complete routine maintenance. KWTC will resume normal broadcasting at 8 a.m. on Monday. If you enjoyed this broadcast, please send us a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for listening to KWTC. Good night.